This is Jen Paddock from Acres, and I wanted to just send you a greeting and an update from Acres of Diamonds and let you guys know what's going on with our Family Rescue Home project. If you're getting this video, that means that you are one of those people that is making this happen. And thanks to you, we are where we're at today. And it has been an exciting year and an amazing year and a time of really seeing firsthand how much God loves homeless moms and kids. And He is showing them that through you. Today, before I left the office, we got a call from CPS. And the CPS worker was calling and saying she had a mom with a baby who walked into her office today. And this mom is a good mom. She's not in trouble with CPS, but she offered to give her child up into foster care because she couldn't keep her baby warm. And I mean, all of us in the office, that broke our hearts. And we actually she'd reached out to us for housing, but we are full. And so obviously we're connecting her with resources today. But I feel like her story, and I sort of left the office today going, we need to do more, and there is more we can do. And so thanks to you, we are doing more, and I believe that's because God's calling us to. And so that I'm hoping next time when that building is built, we'll be able to say yes far more than we say no to moms who are just trying to figure out how to be safe and warm and raise their kids well. So some updates for you. Let's see. So the first thing I should tell you is that we right now have about 1.3 million in pledges and grants. So that's you guys, and that's grants. $1.3 million. So that is amazing. And if you might recall, we are also counting on a good amount of money from construction donations. And so what that means is we plan on paying about 50% of what our construction costs would be in a normal market rate project. So that's about 1.4 million if all that comes in as expected. So with those two things in place right now, we really only have to raise about $200,000 more in if we want to use a loan that we have. If we want to not use a loan that we have available, then we need to raise $900,000. So obviously, I'm hoping we end up not using the loan. But the good news is we can afford to do it if we need to, and it's there. So based on that, we're close enough that it looks like we're going to be breaking ground here pretty soon. So that's super exciting. So I wanted to just also tell you that Acres as an organization is still growing and thriving. And that's really important because we have to be ready to serve and serve well 32 families in the end versus 12. And so that means that our income needs to continue to grow to support that. And obviously our income comes from people like you who are responding to God's prompting to be a part of this. And so we finished 2017 with 23% income growth, which is really amazing and very exciting, but also just points out that we're on the right track. If we didn't see that, that would be a red flag that maybe this isn't the right time for Acres. But that's happening too, so that's exciting. And the other thing is our permits are in. So they've been in for a while, and we've been having dialogue with the city. I can definitely tell you that the city of Duval is really special, and they're very much for us. They are a small municipality, so it's hard for them to do all of the breaks that we'd like to see them do to help cut our costs. But they are trying really hard to work with us. The mayor's been out a couple times, and we've met with city officials quite a bit. And they are for us. They view this as just part of what's happening in their city in a really welcoming and supportive way. So that's great. So I wanted to share some prayer requests with you and ask you to consider committing to praying for these things in this next season. And the first one is a little bit imminent. So in our timeline, March 15th is the deadline for all of our bidding packets to come back. So what that means is so this Thursday we have a builder's dinner, and some folks from different construction companies are coming. We've also been distributing these bidder packets already. And the ask has been for them to bid on our project, and we have been upfront about our desire to have at least 50% off their normal kind of market rate bid or more. And the deadline for all those bidder packets to come in, so they're bidding on everything every aspect of the project. That's March 15th. So March 15th is when we'll really know, like with certainty, where we're at with that 50% off construction. So obviously, if it doesn't come in at 50%, we may need to look at our timeline again. If it comes in greater than 50%, well, we'll be celebrating, and that would offset some of that 900 grand or 200 grand that we have to raise. So if you could pray for that, that would be great. Pray for the dinner this Thursday, and that everybody right now who's thinking about bidding on this project, that God would just stir their hearts and that they would bid generously. Obviously, also pray for the final funds that we need. Like I said, we can go forward with 200 grand, but I'm really hoping in the end we won't have to take any or very little debt on to finish this project. So that would be 900 grand. So that's the big thing we can ask God for. Also pray for the permits and this conversation we're having with the city. At the offset, the city permit fees are actually $320,000. So more than we even need to still raise for this project. And already it looks like we might be able to put a little dent in that. Nothing is firm, but maybe about 100 grand could come off of that, depending on a bunch of decisions that the city has to make and a bunch of stuff that we're working on. So just pray that there would be favor there. Today, actually, someone walked into the office who used to work for the city of Duval and offered to help us with the permitting process. So I think that's just another evidence of God at work, helping us find our way through here. So pray for the families too, if you would. It's been another amazing season at Acres. We've got a woman right now who's getting ready to graduate, who came to us initially out of a mental health recovery institution. She just wasn't able to care for herself or her kids. And now she is in her second job that is at a livable wage because she completed a certification program. She's had her kids now for quite a while. She's a house assistant, so she's like kind of like a PA at a college dorm or an RA. She does that here at Acres. And she is ready. She's looking for housing. She's ready to move into her permanent home. So it's been a great season, but please pray for our families. We have them at kind of all places on the spectrum in their journey. And change, if you've been through trauma, change is a hard thing. And this construction project is a good thing, but it's also change. So we have obviously made some accommodations to minimize the impact of that on them, but it's still just part of the reality. So pray for them during this time. And then if you could also pray for the staff and the building committee. It's been an exciting process, but it's also been hard at times. And I just think that the enemy would love for this not to happen. And so pray that we would all just stay plugged into Jesus, that we would all remember who's doing this project, because it's not us. And if it was us, we'd all be sunk. But also for the amazing building team that we have is full of volunteers who are industry professionals that are really helping move this forward. So pray for them. They're giving a lot of their time and energy towards the project. And then lastly, I wanted to just let you know a little bit about what you can do to help. You've already done a lot. So, but I would love it if you would consider a few things. One, just if you happen to know people in the construction industry, this will be the window of time to connect them to Cheryl Lynn at the office. The number there is 425-788-9999. Our bidder packets are beautiful and self-explanatory. So if you know people that you think might want to get involved, any part of the project, from finishing to excavation to couches, you name it, we're taking bids. And then also, since I'm still in fundraising mode, if you know folks that you think I should be talking to, just ask God if is someone that comes to mind. And if there's not, that's okay. But if there is, let me know. And then lastly, we've got some events coming up. So I mentioned March 15 is kind of a big deadline for us for the construction stuff. The next kind of date is right around May, is when we're anticipating our permits will be completed and ready to go. So somewhere around there, we're going to have groundbreaking. And some of you, I would love to have you guys come, be there. You did this. So I'd love to have you come and pray and celebrate with us when we do groundbreaking somewhere around May. And then there's going to be kind of 2 other events you're going to hear about. And any of you that can come, I would love for you to be there, because you've really been on this journey from the beginning. The next one will be once we have the it's framed in, but the drywall isn't up, whatever you call that phase. We're going to have kind of a Sharpie prayer party. We're going to have people come out and pray over the home and write scriptures on the walls or on the framing, and just bless the house. Love to have you part of that. And then as we get closer to the ribbon cutting, we will have a time when, and this will be kind of the other big fundraiser for us. So that $200,000 to $900,000, if we haven't raised it yet, this is when we'll raise it. And that is when we will have it'll be framed in, the walls will be up, and we will have a clear understanding of what it would cost to furnish each one of the rooms. And so people can walk through and grab Post-its and choose to adopt the rooms and cover the cost of furnishing and finishing our home. And that should be a lot of fun. So that would just be something you could come be a part of, pray over, invite people to. And then, of course, lastly, the ribbon cutting, which, I mean, I can't even imagine what that day is going to be like. It's going to be really exciting. So I certainly want to share that with you. So thank you so much for being a part of this project. And if this video thing works for you, let me know. If it's annoying, let me know that too, because the intention is to just connect and keep you updated. So blessings to you guys. Thank you so much for all you're doing for moms and kids. Take care.